This is Gemara Avodah Zarah, Daf Chav Gimel. We're holding in the bottom of Chav Beis and Mid Beis as the Gemara begins today with a Shiloh. We're 6 lines to the bottom. First one line is Lihu. Ibai Lihu. Oifais Mai. What is the halacha regarding oifais? Is one not allowed to leave an oif, a bird, together with oivdei Avodah Zarah? Are we afraid that they will sleep and they will have relations with them as well? Tashema says the Gemara Dam Rav Yehuda Mer Shmuel Misham Rabbi Chanina and Reisi Yakom Shalokach Avoz Min Ashok. He bought a goose min Ashok. Rava had relations, sodomized it, Chanka, strangled it, Tzala, roasted it, V'achla, and ate it. A similar story. He bought an animal from the market, carved it into kedei revia, carved it into a type of shape or size or matziv that he could have some level of relationship with it, sodomy with this thigh of an animal. Rava tzala v'achla, says the Gemara. So, seemingly, we see that Oivdei Avodah Zarah Goyim are suspectful of Avodah Zarah, of Revia, of sodomy, of having relations at whatever possibility with any form of animal, with any form of even aperture, any form part of an animal. Says the Gemara, Ravina Amar Loi Kasha. Ravina says, let's go all the way back. Halechatchila. As the top Rashi spells out, it really gives us a quick chazara. We are chayshid gayim on revia. The Mishnah is lechatchila. You can't put an animal by the guy. Ubraisa ketani chayshid mishum revia mishum nirva. Di'even mishum dilasha'avar akabayis lemisra dilma kvar ravo lekvar arba ariva loy chayshinan. One is lechatchila, we are suspectful. One is b'di'evet, after the fact. We don't have to worry that it was done already. Says the Gemara, Minatemer Redavino the Shani Lebin Lechatchila, Bein Ledi'evet the Tan Leisachari Sheimayim Neshachashudan Al Rayos. Should not allow a woman to be in a matzav of yichud with the goyim because we're chayshid al rayis. For a minute, we have a different brayso. If a woman is captured amongst the goyim, mutares the bayla. If she was captured because of a monetary matter, she's allowed to go back to her husband. So what do we see? We see that the goyim are not chayshid on zinos. Are they? Are they not? What's the maskana? Shiny law. The chilik is shiny law min chatchila lidi evet. So just like we see the chilik with regarding to goyim and an isha, the Gemara is explaining the same with regarding an animal. Responds the Gemara, Mimai, how do you know that this is the teretz? Really, I'll tell you if it'll have an amilai. Really, I'll tell you that even b'di'eved, namiloi, that what we suspect that indeed they were together with the animal and they were together with the isha. If the whole reason this woman is captured is to try to extort money, so they're not going to be together with her. Why? Because they want to get the cash. And Teda, I'll bring you a raya that this is the reason over there that she's mutaris l'bayila. Dekatani seva idin afashas asur l'bayila. Visu loy midi. Just as idin afashas is mutaris. Because it says idin afashas asur l'bayila. So what do we see? We see that we are concerned. Ask the Gemara, Visu loy midi. There's nothing further. Su loy midi means end of story. As Rashi spells out, ein lahakshas al davar zeh. Don't ask any more kashas. The reason for Mamani Water is why, but indeed, even b'di'evet we are chayshid a guy on al rayis. Says the Gemara of Padas Aimer, another teretz like Kasha. No, we're going to answer up the Stira Harav Harabana. It's not Gabe Paras Chatos. We learned in the Mishnah Gabe Paradum Rav Eliezer Aimer Ein Nikachas Minakom. You can buy a Baran Duma from a guy that comes matirin. My love, what is this machlokes? Rav Elazar v'chachamim. B'hokam if the kider. Rav Elazar v'chashin l'Ravia v'Rabbanan Savi l'chashin on the Ravia. We see how straight on machlokes. Responds the Gemara, Mimai, I didn't know this is machlokes. Dilma l'kuliyam l'chashin l'Ravia. V'achanu taima the Rav Eliezer kider Rav Yudah Merav. That what? Rav Yudah Merav. Haniach aleim oida shel sakin. If you have this animal, which is a potential para aduma, and you put upon it a bundle of sacks, pisla, it makes it pasul as bar aduma. Ube egla, karni egla arufa, achetim sheichba. Not just that, you put a sack on top of it, that's to actually pull the burden. So Meir Savar, you know the machlokes Rav Eliezer Chachamim is, are we chayshed for that? Chayshinan, Umar Savar, loy chayshinan. Says the Gemara, no. Loy salka daitach, that is not the concern. Shamnicham, porta, loy, mafsid, tuva, the Goyim would never do that. They would never lose the incredible value, cash, money of a para aduma to let it work a little bit. And therefore, it's not pshat that we're worried if they're going to work this animal. Rather, must be that Rav Eliezer is indeed chayshesh for Ravia with the cow. Hachinami lema, says the Gemara here too, with regard to Ravia. Why don't we say the same thing? Why do we also say, Mishamana, Porto, Lemafse, Tuva, the Gaim would never have relations with this cow, which is a potential Bara Aduma, if they know they're going to lose all value of it? Explains the Gemara, there's one simple difference. Hasam Yitzray Takfa. He has a Yitzer, he has a desire to be together with the animal. And therefore, that desire will overcome everything else. Says maybe really there's no machlekes at all. In the time of Rav Eliezer, why does he say it's no good? Says the Torah, maybe it's a straight up Gezeres HaKosov that the only way you're allowed to have a para aduma if it's Bnei Yisrael Yichu or not Akum Yichu. Says the Gemara, Lo Salka Daitach Tekatani Seifa. Because the Mishnah says at the end, V'cheinai Rav Eliezer Paisa B'chol Karbanos Kulam. Rav Eliezer as well said an animal that you buy from a guy is not only possible for para aduma, it's possible for karbanis. So if the reason is like Sheila learned, then what? So I understand I understand why a para aduma would have this issue, because we have these special examples like also of kicha. You have to be a Yiddish animal and not bought from a guy. Kula karbanos, kicha ksivu, doesn't say by all karbanos, so that can't be the reason. Says the Gemara of Adelma Adkan Lobligi Rabbana Leid Rav Eliezer. Says Gemara, wait, maybe the Rabbanan only argue with Rav Eliezer as we turn over to Chav Gimel Amid Beis. Ela be'para didameho yikarin. Maybe they only argue by a para aduma, which has a high value. Aval, however, b'shar karbanos, when it comes to all other karbanos, moidoi lei. Maybe by all other karbanos, the Rabbanan agree with Rav Eliezer that animals bought from Avodah Zarah are pasul. Why? Because we have to be concerned that maybe they had relations with them. So why do we say that it's a machlekes mikatzel katze? Why are you telling me the Rabbanan aren't chayshish at all? Maybe not. Maybe by shar karbanos they are. Velha, Tanya says Marba, wait. That which the Brisa said, third line of Gimel and Beis, man, Beim the carbon. Like it, Mehan Beim the carbon, if whom buys an animal from going for a carbon money, who will that Brisa be like? Lo Rav Eliezer, Lo Rabbanan. Number one. Void, and furthermore, Tanya behead, Yamayosivu lei, Chavrohi li Rav Eliezer. What did the Chaverim, the Rabbanon, reply to Rav Eliezer when he said that such animals are pasul for karbanos? Called Sain Keder Yikizbesu Lach Yala the Ratzain Al Mizbechi. They quoted the pasuk the pasuk that seemingly says that all sign of Kedar will be gathered, they'll be brought up on the Mizbeach. So what do we see? We see that the Chachamim, yes, the Rabbanan, yes, allow animals for karbanos. So Rav Padas is therefore correct in telling us that the Mishnah, which says that what's the concern? The concern is Raviyah, the concern is sodomy, bestiality, goes with Rav Eliezer. And the other brisa is the Rabbanon. And that answers up the stira. Says the Gemara, once we're on the topic of Para Aduma, let's dive in a bit deeper. 6 lines down. What's the aforementioned machlokes? Rav Eliezer b'chachamim is whether we're chayshish that the guy was indeed together with the animal or not. Whether it's a chashash, we didn't see the reveal, we don't know that they actually were with the animal, so we have such a machlokes. But if they already were, if we know for sure the guy had relations with his animal, basla. Shema minas, what do we see? What do we see? That the para aduma is considered mikudash for the mizbeach. That's a din of a carbon. Why? Because if it had a din di kache bedekabayis, mi pasle beravia. There's no paslos with ravia. So the Gemara wants to prove from here a sidebar din. There's 2 levels with items that are brought in Beis HaMikdash. One level is kache bedekabayis. It's part of the upkeep of the Beis HaMikdash. Another level is it goes on mizbeach. What is Para Aduma? We don't know. It's not a straight up carbon, but it's not stand by the Gabayis. So proves the Gemara. If we're learning that reveal that sodomy with this Para Aduma passes it, seemingly that would elevate it, that it has to have the status of Kadshe Mizbeach. Answers the Gemara, no. Shiny Para, you know why Para Aduma is different. The Chatos Kare Rachmana. Because the Torah has called it a chatas. That's the reason why the fact that if an act of sodomy was done with this animal, Ravi'ah, it would be puzzle. But responds the Gemara, if what you're saying is true, why don't we say that if it was a C-section, it should be puzzle? If you tell me it is, why do you learn in the Braisa? So these should be Daifen. Psula, Paver Rav Shimon, Machshav Chitim, Rav Shimon, Latem Damar, Yotzi Devin Vlad, Malyu. But maybe the reason Rav Shimon says it's kosher is because he holds every C-section is a straight up Vlad, but it's not true. Rav Yechanan, Maida, Rav Shimon is Maida, Inyan, Kodshim, She'enoi Kadosh, that they're not Kadosh. So says the Gemara, what do we see? That if you're going to tell me that a Para Aduma is the same din as a Chatos, how could Rav Shimon say that a Yotzei Daifen, a Para Aduma that was born via C-section, is going to be kosher? So responds the Gemara, La Shiny Para, you know we have to say, Hayal Umam Pasal Ba, Tvar Erva, Avodah Zarah, Nami Pasal Ba. From the fact that Para Aduma has special dinim, of course, has to be perfectly red, now one mum. So from the fact that there's apostles of a mum, must be that as well, Dvar Erva will apostle it as well. Techsev, and we bring the raya from the Torah, Ki Mashchasam Bahem Mum Ba. V'tani Dvei Rabbi Yishmael, Kol Makjem Rashchasa, Inuel Dvar Erva Avodah Zarah. Dvar Erva Techsev, Kishach Kol Baschar is Tarkal Haaretz, Avodah Zarah Techsev, Pentashchison, V'asisem Lochem Pesel. Ask the Gemara, V'hapara Nam, actually not ask, but explains the Gemara. V'hapara Nam, Yehayalu Mum Paisel Ba, Dvar Erva, Avodah Chavim, Pasli, Ba, and we'll pick it up from here, B'siyata Dishmaya.